being the first of a cancel culture, let's say, slowed the acting career down for years. I got blackballed in Hollywood. But, Fox paid me off on movies I never did. Carolco had to finish my concert film that I started with Fox, so they bought it and finished it. All I would get was like these B type of movies, and it wasn't until Doug Ellen said, coming back to that, he goes, "I'm giving you this season of Entourage, the last season, and wait till you see what it does for your career."
That's awesome.
And nobody was more right, because number one, I came out with a book called The Filthy Truth, Simon & Schuster, which Doug did the opening, the thing.
Yeah, forward, yeah.
What?
Forward.
The
Prologue.
The thing that goes before you
Oh,
start
yeah,
the
like
book.
he wrote a thing.
Like a recommendation.
About, saying about,
Right.
where he was, where people remember where they were when they saw Dice. And so we did the book, and then here come some of the greatest director, right? Woody Allen and, Scorsese. So now I'm getting to do the kind of parts I always wanted to do. Then I get Dice, the TV show. On top, I did another special called Indestructible, which I did with my sons, which they got to play the opening number that aired on Showtime called Outlaw. And because they have a band still, Rebel.
Right.
So they do that, and then I get, and this is funny, I get A Star Is Born, which was the ultimate.
Did you audition for that, or they just gave it to you?
This was hilarious because my manager at the time gets me a meeting with Bradley Cooper, who I met at the Troubadour when Guns N' Roses got together, which that's a whole lot. I helped put that band back together,
Right.
And I was thrilled about it because my son Max, who plays drums, since he was 15, he'd always say, you're the only one that could put that band back together.
Yeah.
Because there's no agenda. Managers, attorneys, they all have an agenda. You just love the guys.
Yeah.
And it started when I saw Slash in Australia, which was my first and only Australian tour. I'm there 5 minutes up at the top of some building in Sydney having breakfast, and Eleanor goes, "Is that Slash?" So I come over to him out on the porch. He's smoking a cigarette, and I go, "You mind if I smoke over here?" And he Dice,
Yeah.
And I'm going, "How you doing?" And we start talking, and I told him I'm touring, Australia. I'd never done it. And I go, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, "Well, I'm going to play the national anthem today at their soccer game, football, but it's soccer."
Yeah. It's weird.
So I look at him because I'm standing there and he's sitting. I go, "Oh, that's big," And he goes, "What are you talking about?" I go, "You're one of the greatest guys on earth, and you're playing for a ball game. For what? Because Axl showed up late? You can't put this to bed somehow?" I go, "You're the greatest band, I go, and you know what's funny? Besides the millions of people that would want to see you again, what about the new millions of people?"
Right.
Yeah.
I go, "So because he showed up late, you're out here playing baseball, whatever the fuck?" And then we hung out that night. We talked about it more. And then when I got back to the States, I called Duff, and he came to see my boys perform. So the next day, I'm with Duff and the road manager sitting at Starbucks, having an iced coffee, by the way.
Okay.
And talking about, all right, what has to happen that everybody gets together because they need Slash. And the road manager, Tom Mayhew, was saying, well, Slash just got to put out some positive tweets Because, they would like pick it, right?
Yeah.
They would fight, like on Twitter. All these guys fight, not just them, everybody.
Right.
So he basically put out like that Axl was one of the greatest frontmen ever. And that was it, band back together. So
Dang.
I was at that first show at the Troubadour, a club show, where Axl wound up, I think, breaking his ankle, but you didn't know it. And we're up in the VIP thing, and as I'm leaving, it's a small club, the Troubadour.
Yeah.
You ever been there?
No, but I've heard.
But it's it's like the whiskey. It's like that,
Yeah.
So as I'm leaving, I'm passing Bradley Cooper, and I go, by the way, you were great in Sniper. And his mother grabs me and goes, not so fast. Where are you going? She goes, you don't know what you mean to our family. Vic, you're going to love this. You're from Philly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, South Philly. So she goes, we came to the Spectrum twice to see you.
Wow.
And I go, oh, that's great. And this is his mother. And I go, but really, I just want to say, I think you're a great actor. Next thing you know, I'm doing my own TV show for Showtime called Dice.
Which was great.
And my manager, who didn't give a fuck about anybody, he was great, Bruce Rubenstein. He goes over to our showrunner, okay? And he said, and Bruce is also from, like, where we're from, and Staten Island, that kind of attitude,
Right.
And he goes, I need you to get in touch with Todd Phillips, because he was one of the producers. He goes, you're going to write to him. It was threatening, basically. He basically threatened him to tell Todd Dice has to be in the movie somehow.
Wow.
So he sends him this email basically saying, Dice is this weirdly great actor. So all of a sudden we get a call, Bradley Cooper wants to sit with me. Okay, because he met me at the Troop, you know. So what? And all I talked about were my sons. For 3 hours we're sitting there. I don't even know what we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
I take out their CD, I'm playing their music, because he's going to be a guitarist, singer on his way down, Star is Born. The next day I get a text, will you go say hello to Lady Gaga? She's recording music for the movie. And he goes, and I'll meet you there. But he gives me time to be with her alone. And, the minute I walked in to say hello, her team parts like the Red Sea in the studio.
Wow.
And we're talking about being on tour. And I say, I used to do like what you would do. And she knew all about it. Her father, Joey's a big fan, But now I start getting mad at the drummer. I got a bad temper, And I go, what is this guy playing? Like what kind of setup does he have? So I go in there, to the drummer. I go, what is this? What are you using, a crash cymbal as a ride cymbal? This is going to be a giant movie. Get up. I go, I'm going to show you how this song needs to be played. And all of a sudden, her, I guess assistant with the iPad is behind me, and I play the song for the drummer the way it's meant to be played. And she's got that. I'd love to see that one day. So as this is happening, here comes Cooper.
Right.
And watching this, like, what is this?
Yeah.
And he says, let's go in another studio, just the three of us. It was a big studio in Hollywood. So he goes, all right, Dice, I just want to try some scenes. I go, Bradley, I didn't read the script yet. It's a thick script. I don't really like to read scripts.
Yeah.
I don't even really like being on the set. And he goes, let's just try a fun scene. You're in the kitchen. You're having your morning coffee that you're always talking about coffee, And it's just fun, father-daughter stuff. And the scene, and it was really good. He goes, okay, I want to get a little heavy. Talk to her about being her father. I'm like, what about it? He goes, no, like, I don't know, something happened, so it's heavier, but tell her how you feel about her. So I start to get into it, but I can't. And I go, oh, wait a minute. I know why I can't do it. And I'm wearing this it looks like a 2-gun holster, but it's a bag where I carry my wallet, my phone's on one side. It's like a 2-gun.
Yeah.
I'd call it 2-gun. So I take it off. So now I start again, and I look at him, and he's on the floor, just laying, like this, looking. I go, Bradley, forget it. I just can't, I'm not feeling anything, you know. And he's going, and I go, wait a minute. I take off, I'm wearing glasses similar to this.
Right.
And now I take the glasses off. Now I don't have glasses.
Right.
I don't have a cigarette in my hand.
Right.
I don't have the 2-gun. 2 minutes later, I got her head in my chest. Tears are coming off my face. And we're just in it, telling her how much I love her, and Bradley pops up. He goes, I knew it with you.
Right.
After you sat with me about your children, look at that, you're crying.
Yeah.
I go, crying because I can't believe I'm holding Gaga in my arms. But he knew I was in the scene, and they laughed like you did. And now she goes, it was great meeting you. And she was crying, and she went back to work. And I'm like, because I got no patience. I didn't care anymore. After I worked with Scorsese, I just didn't care,
Right.
And I go, so what do you want to do? I showed you what you needed to see, right? He goes, yeah, but, it's, you got to give me a minute, So
Right.
this is a big, big movie. There's a lot of people involved. As they say, there's a lot of moving parts, the
Yes.
corporate world, So obviously the next day I don't hear from it. It's Sunday. And Monday night, about 8 o'clock, he calls me. And my sons are like, pick the phone up. Like, I don't want to pick it up,
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid of what he's going to. And I pick it up. I talk to him. And he goes, I want to offer you the part as Lorenzo, Stephanie's father.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. Third billing, So ever since I've done that, I really don't really care about the acting world. And I really got back into the stand-up